Welcome to the AM News. Now, here's what's in our news this morning. JoyNews can report authoritatively that a militia group associated with the governing NPP is being trained at an important state facility classified as a security zone. The group has been meeting at the facility for close to 2 years, at a time that the country is waiting on the NPP and the NDC to take a decisive decision on operations of their militia groups. JoyNews head of investigations desk Manasseh Azure Awene went undercover to expose the activities of DI Group, its operations and its link to the NPP.
JoyNews investigation has revealed that the group has 2 offices in this building, one as the secretariat of the group and another as the office of the commander. The Ministry of Interior, which licenses private security agencies, has told JoyNews the I Group is not licensed to provide any security services. Sources within the group, however, say the I Group undertakes security operations in and out of Accra. A private legal practitioner, Martin Kwebu, says it is an offense to operate a security group without any license from the Interior Ministry.
Once your checks have revealed that this I vigilante is not registered, yet they are providing the services, then, unless there are any other facts that we are not aware of, it means that there is a breach of the law, and it comes with very serious consequences. If a person, both for the persons employed as the security guards and also for the organizations, Regulation 14 makes it an offense for people or a person to work for an unregistered security organization, and also for the organization itself to provide security services when it's not been duly registered. And so Regulation 15 says that in that case, if the person is found guilty, so it means after this, if you make a report and the police also investigate and confirm what you've already investigated, they want to prosecute, they are facing a fine and up to 1 year imprisonment.
Right. What?
A member of the opposition National Democratic Congress, accused of being the leader of the Hawks, a militia affiliated with the party, has denied having any links with the group. Director of Operations at the National Security Secretariat, Colonel Michael Opoku, in his testimony before the Justice Short Commission, presented pictures of Theophilus Sedodi wearing T-shirts with the inscription, "The Hawks," and named him as the known leader of the militia group. But Mr. Sedodi, who appeared before the commission on Thursday, however, vowed he was only handed the T-shirt to wear and that he has absolutely no affiliation with the group. There's more in the following report.
Theophilus Sedodi, a member of the opposition NDC, was one of 7 suspects arrested by the National Security SWAT team and handed over to the police on the day of the Ayawaso West Wogan by-election. Director of Operations at the National Security Secretariat, Colonel Michael Opoku, told the Short Commission members of the pro-NDC militia, the Hawks, of which Mr. Sedodi is known to be leader, were responsible for the violence at La Bawaleshi.
I saw one huge person, and I was told he's the leader of the Hawks vigilante group. I actually Googled the picture, and I saw that he was the leader of the Hawks. He's the face of Hawks on internet. There's some huge man you see at the back, Hawks, fair. He was one of those who were arrested.
The said leader of the Hawks, identified in the photos, introduced himself as Theophilus Sedodi to the Justice Short Commission and admitted being the one in the pictures wearing a T-shirt with the inscription Hawks. He, however, denied being a member of the group. Counsel of the Commission suggested to Mr. Sedodi he was a member of the Hawks, but he disagreed.
You are a member of the Hawk, and all the photographs do show.
But T-shirt, and I'm share, and the second picture, I'm say, Yabe Pono, That's my first time. I mean, the former president, Asia. So I guess close to him. So
I'm not a member of the Hawks, and that when we were about to close the walk, I moved close to the former president, and so that somebody could take a picture of me.
Despite a caution from the chair of the commission, Justice Short, Mr. Sedodi insisted he had absolutely no links with the group.
Mr. Theophilus, let me remind you that you have sworn an oath to tell the truth.
Yes, please.
And if you don't tell the truth, you are liable to be prosecuted for perjury.
Another member of the opposition NDC who was at Labawaleshi where the violent clashes occurred, Amidou Amadou, also appeared before the commission. It has been suggested by National Security Minister Albert Kandapa and Minister of State in charge of National Security Brian Champong and SWAT Commander DSP Samuel Azugu that the national security operatives were prevented from searching the residence of the NDC's parliamentary candidate by an agitated crowd. But Mr. Amadou, who was part of the crowd, challenged that claim.
Then he started mentioning his name, shouting and mentioning his name. But the guy didn't mind him. Then they pounced on him.
He presented as evidence to the commission a video in which he is seen being kicked by masked men in black shirt and khaki trousers. He told the commission he was simply preventing the operatives from searching a vehicle as he doubted the legality of their actions.
According to evidence before the commission, the men in black and brown were attracted to the scene by a gunshot. Did you witness that?
My lord, that's not true.
Yet another member of the NDC picked up on the day who Dusaidu introduced himself as a farmer when he appeared before the commission on Thursday.
That day, I was beaten so mercilessly that they were mentioning security, then my heart would beat. So it happened that when they say security, I responded security.
The commission, however, had some concerns as to whether he was being truthful.
My lord, that he wasn't that all confused.
Oh. He wasn't confused at the time of the firing.
He was in between.
Can I suggest to him that all the nice little details he's giving us today have all been from a state of confusion and that we cannot rely on his word?
My lord, I think you have to accept all that I've said.
The commission will hold a news conference on Friday.
Meanwhile, the Militia Commission has extended its deadline for public sitting by a day, and JoyNews will keep you up to speed with developments at the hearing. Away from that, the Ghana Police Service is yet to authenticate a tape said to have the voice of the national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress making remarks said to have national security implications. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo has been slapped with 4 charges emanating from the comments attributed to him. He has, however, denied the comments, insisting the tape is doctored. Yes, a fallout from the push to disband party militia groups. I'm sure by now you know NDC chairman Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo is in trouble with the law. Well, that's if the tape is authenticated. The CID is currently investigating him over some leaked tape in which he's alleged to be inciting NDC foot soldiers against the National Peace Council chairman and the EC boss. He maintained he is innocent, but that has not brought an end to the CID probe. On Thursday, he returned to face investigators on the matter and spoke to the media.
I just want to assure Ghanaians and the teaming members of the NDC that they have a chairman who is a very peaceful person, a law-abiding person, who wants to steer the party very, very smoothly within the confines of the law to win 2020. These are diversionary tactics. We want to remain focused, very, very focused on our agenda of winning 2020. My only advice is that if there is anybody to arrest and focus on, you should focus on the dollar that has escaped and is running away, and not focus on Ofusompof.
They say your arrest is the diversionary tactics. I
am not a security threat to this country.
Yeah, but and
I'll continue to be a very peaceful
image of the party.
No. Then this is a credible party, and nothing at all will be done by our party to undermine the credibility of the party. We will still continue to remain very, very credible.
Meanwhile, a member of Mr. Ampofo's legal team, Dominic Ayeni, has described the charges against his clients as baseless.
Reporting day. So basically what they did was to ask him whether he stood by the statement that he made, to them the first time he was invited. And he said, yes, he stood by the statement and he had nothing substantive to add to it. And they basically said, well, if that is the case, then they will continue their investigation and let the chairman come again on Tuesday. I don't know whether to report or for him to be, cautioned on other matters that, arose out of the tape.
And the statement he stood by was the fact that he denied that the audio, the leaked, the tape was his or his voice, clearly.
Yes, that was the statement he made to the police. He said he wasn't going to comment on it.
Because he wasn't going to comment, or he was denying that was his voice.
Yeah, it was doctored. He did. What he said to the police was that he would not comment, on a doctored tape.
So what it means is that though it's his voice, but it's been doctored. Is that what
well, if that is a spin you will put on it, that is fine. That is your perspective in terms of the question, because see, we also we listen to the tapes, all right, and we realize that a lot of them were spliced and put together to give a certain impression to the general public. Okay, and so that is the stance that we've taken on this matter.
So what are the chances of your clients in this case?
100% chance of walking free, because we have examined the law, we have examined Act 29, and we think that there is nothing in that tape that incriminates the chairman. So we think that, at the end of the day, okay, he will be, a free person walking away from both the police and the court system.
And we've been looking forward to this day for a while now. It's the International Women's Day, and women leaders are calling for a concerted effort to create the right environment for females to achieve their dreams. Speaking at the Alliance for Women in Media Africa and Joy FM Women's Summit, law lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration Faculty of Law, Clara Berry Kasati, called on accomplished women to nurture and mentor girls so they can aspire and achieve greatness. Other women contributors also advocated the need for women and girls to appreciate their value in every sphere of life in order to give off their best in whatever capacity they serve. Here's Efwa Evans Chinri's report.
Affecting women in modern Ghana are numerous. Domestic violence against women is still pervasive. Thousands of vulnerable old women are still locked up in villages with wild accusations that they are witches. Some women are forced to practice outmoded widowhood rites, while widowers are not saddled with any rights. Many women have to juggle chores, managing homes, raising children, and also maintain full-time jobs. Alliance for Women in Media Africa organized a seminar to touch on many issues affecting women in the country. Former Gender Minister Nanoye Letta touched on challenges women face in politics.
Would you like to be called a prostitute in public? No. Would you like to be called a bloody widow in public? Would you like to be called a harlot in public? So this is where we see and feel how toxic politics is. And when I received the invitation, I was like, in Ghana, what we've done is to politicize use abuse of women in politics as a political tool to humiliate your competitor.
Law lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration Law School, Clara Berry Kasati, says there should be a conscious effort to meet women halfway. She said government and corporate institutions must create an environment where women can give off their best whilst taking care of their children. She touched on providing daycare facilities at workplaces to help women.
I think governmental policy, corporate policy, societal policy, childcare has to be at the top of our list. If we sort out childcare, we will help a lot more women. And I believe that once we are able to address the barriers that all women find themselves in, the prejudices, it's just a matter of time. The prejudices will slip away. And the women too can contribute. We all have equal rights on this planet, men and women. We should all be able to achieve what we want to be. And there is enough in the world for all of us to achieve our potential. And that's what we need to work at. Currently, we have barriers confronting women. We should dismantle those barriers, and we don't have to worry about the prejudices that we complain about.
Founder and director of ALMA, Shamima Muslim Al-Hassan, says the advocacy on violence against women must be sustained.
I think that a lot of media organizations really need to look at what stories they are saying and how they are contributing to advancing the gender equality debate and also the gender-based violence debate, because violence affects all of us and it affects, the society in a negative way. But most importantly, organizations need also make workplaces safe. So the issue of sexual harassment policies and misconduct policies came high, on the agenda, that we need to not only have the policies, we need to have consistent training, because people sometimes don't even know, they are not knowledgeable about what constitutes harassment and how to respond to it.
The founder and executive director of the Obapa Development Foundation, Nanahima Adjoa Awindo, advised women to know their worth and not allow outmoded culture to limit their capabilities.
One of it is we have to have the opportunity to continuously engage. People come to such summits not because they don't know what the issues are, they do. But every day as you engage, you get to hear other stories, you get to have experiencing. You hear experiences from other people. You get to add knowledge to whatever you have, so that as advocates, for example, when we go out there, we know how to present the issues. And if people ask you questions, you have divergent information to share. Otherwise, you're always, talking about same issues. So way forward is for us to continuously engage and also to get people to share their stories and find solutions.
International Women's Day is celebrated on March 8th every year. It is a focal point in the movement for women's rights.
And that's it for the AM News for now. Later this morning, the Star Ghana Foundation and the Gender, Children Social Protection Ministry, they're putting together a national dialogue. What is the status of the Ghanaian woman? And we will be part of that conversation at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. So stay with us. Very interesting things coming up on the AM show. I want to say thank you to Woodine for my fabric. Designer is Ajua Yeboah Clothing.